Test. Test. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I thought I had done that already, but then my computer had other plans.
Cool. All right. It's the August episode. Here we are. Almost finished for this year. This season, even.
Yeah.
Coming up to our... Yeah?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's like, it feels like it's flown by, but at the same time, like we've been doing this forever.
Yes. It feels like we've always had this podcast. It's weird to think about that, we've been doing this for almost 2 years now.
I've got a pretty interesting setup for recording this episode. I'm sure the sound quality won't be noticeably different, but I've stacked a table on top of another table, and then I've put blankets across the top table so that they hang down like a little fort.
Right. It's like what I used to do when I recorded in my office, or the family office room, where I would get like a clothes drying rack and then put a big blanket over it, so it would reduce how much the noise reverberated in the room.
Oh yeah, right.
But,
do you guys not have like dryers?
Dryers? Oh,
like with your
people
washing
do
machine?
have them. Oh yeah, I think ours does dry them a bit, but I think we choose not to just because it's quicker. Or maybe our washer doesn't. I don't think it does.
I feel like that's one of those things that isn't like mostly an Americanism, but like Americans don't realize it. That like
yeah,
the rest of the world's not in such a hurry to dry their clothes that they have to throw it into like an oven.
Yeah, we used to have a dryer. I don't know why we don't, but we just put them outside or on the radiators when it's raining. So we have a couple clothes racks, which yeah. Or what was quite nice is we were moving like a bed around, so there was like 2 massive mattresses in the office for a while. So that was quite funny, just having a big, using a mattress for soundproofing. But now I'm in my bedroom, and it's relatively, because of all the things in here, the sound is a lot more dampened. But
I have like 2 beds on top of each other in my bedroom right now, so maybe I should find a way to like...
Yeah, I have this weird like double folding bed, so I can pull out like this spare bed if I need it at all. So I could, if I wanted to, I could just pull out that mattress and put it next to me.
Just for comfort. It doesn't really help the sound much, but
no,
here.
Push up against it and yeah.
Do we have show notes for this episode, or are we just gonna wing it? Oh, we do.
I mean, yeah. we could try. Maybe one episode we should.
We're just gonna talk about our pseudo soundproofing for
the
whole episode.
Let's talk about like random things that are apparent to us, just like and why is nothing apparent to me? Okay. I seem to have this common thing running throughout this podcast where I'll try to be like, oh, I should spontaneously come up with a thing, and then as soon as I say it, I can't spontaneously come up with a thing.
Yeah.
But in natural conversation, I'm good at spontaneously coming up with things. So
just like, and then Wabbles inserts funny line here.
Yeah. But yes, we do have show notes that we tend to follow. Yeah. So follow up. So what was something we've been talking about a lot due to current happenstance in the world is our hair growth, while there being barber shops or hairdressers open.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, barbers and hairdressers have opened in the UK. They have been for a couple months, but I've just not been bothered to go get my hair cut.
Right.
But in, I think, a couple weeks, I'm going to have to get my hair cut because of going back to school. And they like it when your hair is nice and not very long and bushy. So...
Do they? Does your school care about that?
Yeah, they do.
Huh.
It's like part of the uniform to have shortish hair. Like, I forgot what the rule is for boys, but for girls, they can't go over their face or anything, and they have to tie it up and stuff like that. it's all to do with uniforms and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Though to be fair, it is getting kind of annoying. Like I had to, when I was putting in my earbuds, my hair kept going into my ear.
Oh, I hate that.
So I had to brush it back and like, oh, I just did that and pulled hair out my ear. To like brush it back and like hold it with one hand. It's like,
yeah. Anyone who's like putting their earbuds in their ears with like the hair between the ear and the headphone, you're a monster, and you need to stop.
If you made it really loud, your hair would vibrate, like your whole head. Whatever the resonant frequency of hair is, you could break your hair.
Break your hair.
If you played the right frequency loud enough, you could.
That would be quite the concert if an opera singer sings and everyone in the
everyone's hair falls off.
The auditorium's like hair just shatters.
Yeah, that would be amusing. Though I have been to an opera before, and that didn't happen, sadly.
But they didn't hit the right frequency.
They didn't hit the resonant frequency of hair.
Yeah.
Don't know what they were doing, honestly. It's not enjoyable unless your hair falls off by the end of it.
Yeah, if you're not walking out of that.
It's like one of those like the music snobs that like say it's better on vinyl. It's like, no, the truest sound is when your hair falls off.
And then like you don't believe them, and then they break out their record player and they put it on.
Your hair falls off. Right. Or those people who listen to music detuned slightly. But my hair's still growing out. It's just been interesting having it this long. It's kind of leveling off now. I feel like I would have to leave it for like a super long time and like I don't know, wear less headphones and stuff like that, and it probably would grow out more. So yeah, it is still growing, and it's getting it's growing a lot. But yeah, I don't think I've fully tested the limits of how long it could get. But I suppose I think I'll probably try it whenever I don't have to have my hair nice for school.
Right.
Just become a ball of hair. So that's hair follow-up. So another recurring thing we've been kind of talking about is our it was kind of like our New Year goal of because we both just realized that we were quite underweight and such. So then we decided that we were going to gain weight and have a decent BMI. And yeah, you said last episode you said you broke even, or at least had a good point.
Yes, I am spontaneously like the correct weight now, but I didn't do that much exercising, so that's actually suddenly reaching that weight made me realize like, oh, maybe I should exercise more and like see if I can get more muscle on there.
Yeah. Because that's basically what I've decided to do. I was like, well, because I've been quite skinny most of my life, but I just decided I would start like working out and doing exercises and stuff like that. And I think just because my because I'm quite young, fairly young, and my body's good, adapts quickly, 'cause high metabolism and so on. I'm actually noticing like, I don't know, I'm not just a skinny kid anymore. It's weird like seeing like my body is actual stuff.
Your body is actually made up of stuff. Yes.
I know. Like it's not just bone and skin. It has like actual. There's lines where muscle is, I guess. But yeah, and I was doing lots of. I'm not exactly the most well versed in exercise knowledge. Well, like I'm not like that. I know what to do, but luckily I have my girlfriend's quite good at health and is doing physical education, so she knew what to.
Oh, nice.
what exercises to give
So you
me.
have like
and,
a personal trainer.
Yeah, I have a personal trainer, and like she's been changing what I do every couple days and stuff like that. So it's been quite good. Yeah, I don't know. At the beginning of this year, I thought, I just wanted to not be like anything was an improvement from what I was, but I didn't think it would be like actual, I guess, muscle instead of. I thought like, you know what, I'd rather get like a bit flabbier, I guess.
Yeah.
Have like more to my body and then try build up muscle instead of just yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, I think our main thing on New Year's when we were like came to this conclusion was like just trying not to be like just like fragile stick people.
Right.
And I feel like that's at least something we've made progress on.
Yes, definitely. Both of us in different. Similar. Yeah.
Yeah,
Both
I've
us,
actually been I've actually been exercising more with like this weird motivation. Did I tell you about this last time? I don't remember when we started it, but I've started doing this thing with my brother who also wanted to like get in better shape this year, and is also like really into Magic the Gathering.
Ah.
So we, I mean, as much as me at least, but we started this thing where basically like if you do some exercises like push-ups and sit-ups and whatever, you can earn points, and then you can spend those points on a imaginary pack of magic cards.
Huh. Right.
And then we use those magic cards that we've earned to construct decks and face off against each other.
Huh. That is quite interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've won like I've been winning like 2 out of 3 matches so far since we've done it. So I will try and maintain that, but it's
Yeah.
It's an interesting thing because it's like it can motivate you to try to get more packs, in the hope that you get some good cards in them.
Right.
And
ultimately you can.
And then like ultimately you can win the matches.
Everyone's true goal of beating their sibling.
Yes.
Or siblings.
But there's also, because the packs are like randomly generated.
Right.
It's also entirely possible that like someone could, exercise twice as much as the other person and just get really bad cards.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of luck involved in which cards you get, but
I suppose that's the fun of it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you get one and you're like, that wasn't very good. Maybe I can get another pack today if I work out a little more.
Yeah. Because that is an interesting motivator. I don't really know what my main motivation is. I think it's just, well, I guess my main mindset is like, I don't really lose anything if I do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, it takes me about like 20 minutes. And if I'm quite tired on one day, probably like 25, because it takes me a while to do some of the more intensive exercises. But it's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you have like a time you set to do things, or like?
So I've been doing it every other day, but I make sure. So I have a dog walk as like a warm up. So it's normally just whenever that happens. So that's normally like actually, it's been consistently around like 3 o'clock.
Nice. So you have you sort of have your dog to remind you that you need to. Yeah.
Because my parents make me walk him because he always looks really depressed if you don't walk him.
Right.
Yeah. So, but like some days when we've been busy, because as things are opening up, we've been seeing people, so I'll be getting back late. But then I'll say like, well, I'm gonna do it. Why not? So,
yeah,
I've been doing it sometimes in the evening. But
yeah. So not like gamification in the same way that mine is, but it's more of like it's attached to sort of an unavoidable thing that's like already worked into your schedule. So it's like I think
so it's not.
It's always easier to add routines onto like existing routines than it is to just like arbitrarily be like, I'm gonna do this thing I've never done.
Yeah, it is interesting with the whole because it's also like kind of taught me how I might approach new habits I'll add in, where it's like I should attach it to something I would be doing anyway. Though an interesting thing is that I haven't actually changed my diet at all, which I thought I would try and do. But I also realized that like my body's been metabolizing food really well, so I don't think anything's going to change that for a while. And it's like, well, I'm exercising anyway, so it doesn't really matter what I eat. So I haven't exactly been watching that. Maybe I probably should be slightly more conscious, just for general, not wanting to die at 40. But
yeah, I'm not the best at that either. So
yeah, like I'll kind of just be like, occasionally when I get quite bored, I'll just start eating loads of food, and then I'll just be like, maybe this isn't what I should be doing when I'm bored.
Probably not.
But you know, it's been all fine. And I think also, like, weirdly, another problem I was having was just probably just self-image stuff. That, I don't know. Which was weird because I only started wanting to start doing exercises as soon as I had gotten over that, kind of. Before, my mindset was just not be skinny, and I thought the easiest way to do that was just to eat a lot. But I've had quite a bit of help from some people about like just generally being around people who make me feel happy,
more confident,
and okay, it's kind of made me feel like a I don't know. It's just weird because sometimes when I look in the mirror, it's like I don't think that was the same person I was looking at like 8 months ago.
Yeah.
And it's been, I don't know.
No, I mean, like I think that's an okay topic. Like if you want to talk more about that at some point, but
yeah.
But if you're if you're feeling better about it, like then I would say that's good.
Yeah, of course it's not. I don't want to be too insensitive because I know there are definitely people who have like really seriously bad issues.
Right.
But I mean, I don't know. It's been interesting where I'm not going to say I've been through that because I know it can be way worse, and I'm actually quite lucky considering that I kind of went away.
You had your own. I mean,
right. I kind of, yeah. But yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, it can vary in like the severity of it, but that's
yeah. Though I do think it's. Oh, I really feel like this has been a weird tangent we get on, but I think it's less so talked about to like body positivity to guys, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's true.
I never really knew. Oh no, of course I've known about it and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we can cut all this if you want to too. I'm just just here.
I think it's fine. It's like it's meant to be a small slice of one another's, not like exactly personal life, but
sure.
You know. I suppose it might give context for some of the things I've said in the past.
Yeah.
I don't think I've said like too bad of things, but I just, yeah, it's just been weird being like, I'm quite lucky I've gotten out like not too bad, and like it was kind of stopped before it even like properly started. So you know, but
it is interesting that you didn't. Yeah, you didn't actually start on the exercising stuff until you already like were okay with your body image of like.
Yeah.
Like you had gotten more confidence in it before you were even able to start that.
Yeah, because
and I wonder if that's like...
This exercise isn't like this whole exercise thing isn't about getting a rippling six-pack and massive biceps. It's mainly just because I want to be, during these times, I want to be generally healthy and come out as a better person than I went in.
Yeah, that's...
And use the time productively to... Yeah.
That's a big thing. It's like, yeah, a lot of people are doing different projects, whether it's like gardening or like whatever. And like a lot of people are trying to exercise more. Just...
Yeah. Because...
You don't want to just turn to mush during the quarantine.
Don't want to atrophy. Yeah. And actually, I'm kind of glad I am exercising after the whole thing, because then I would have been exercising to change my body drastically, and that would have been probably not the best, which is like...
Yeah, that's not a good mindset, because then you're like comparing yourself and you're like expecting it to suddenly
Yeah.
Get better, but it's like, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, as I've said, I've been lucky enough to have, I guess I haven't actually brought it up on the podcast, but yes, I have, I do have a girlfriend, and she's been very nice. Well, she's amazing, and she's helped me out a lot with it.
She listening right now?
She might be. Yeah, she probably will be. So yeah, and of course not in a more general sense. I've just made sure I've had the right people around me who don't make me feel bad about myself in general.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she. It was a weird moment. Because the other day she mentioned something about the podcast. I'm like, oh, that's weird. Because I've not like intentionally. It's just how it happens when your online life and private life are kind of separate. And it was just the weird coming together moment where my girlfriend was talking to me about something that I do on the internet with people on the internet, and hasn't exactly really, apart from family, hasn't really leaked into my real life yet.
Yeah.
So that was a weird moment of like, oh, huh, yeah.
Oh yeah, both of these people exist.
Like they exist. This is like the same world.
Whoa.
I mean, I do hope if this does become more of a thing in my real life, that it's from people telling me. I would hate for people to be like, oh, by the way, I found your podcast. And like, oh, you did? Because that would be, I don't know. I guess I do get kind of anxious when I've told someone that they should check out the podcast, and then just being like, uh-oh, what if they hate it?
It's a very specific type of content that some people really like, and it's like
a Minecraft channel. It would be, people would be like, oh yeah, of course he has a Minecraft channel.
Yeah.
But like if it's like, oh, he has an online podcast where about drinking mint tea, where he talks to.
It's about nothing, really.
On the other side
it's
of
a
the
podcast
Atlantic.
about nothing. But
yeah, I mean, we just went from opera singers making hair fall off to body image, and then.
Oh no! I just looked at your profile picture, and then I thought of like, what if there was like a little dog at the opera, and then all the hair just shattered.
Well, I'm thinking about what do shaved raccoons look like? This is a question for another time.
Yeah.
It's like looking up shaved bears. That was an interesting evening.
I don't even think we discussed what this episode is yet.
No, we haven't. So, the date this is or should be coming out is August 25th.
Also known as Wabbles Day.
Wabbles Day. TM. Yeah, it's a Wabbles Day. It's the day where we all sing the song of Wabbles.
We all celebrate our Wabbleses.
And we all eat pretzels with upside down piñatas. And I forgot how the bit went last year.
You mean every year? It's a well-known tradition
every year
around the world.
And everyone wears orange, I think.
I believe so. Orange is the traditional Wabbles Day color.
Yeah, orange is the Wabbles Day color. And we all...
You eat sour candies and lemons.
You eat sour candies, that's it. Popcorn, pretzels, anything with lots of salt in it, if I'm honest.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have pretzels immediately available, just eat a handful of salt. No,
just
don't. That's dangerous.
You get a cup, you pour in some salt, you pour in some like crushed up sour powder,
just
patent pending, and you pour in some orange food coloring, stir it up,
put it in the oven at 180 degrees, 100 Fahrenheit, and
then stuff it inside the upside down piñatas.
Yeah.
And then when you hit it and it flies everywhere, it'll
make a mess.
Yeah, it will stain your walls and get in your eyes and
and scare all the kids. It's great.
And then we won't see you, or no, we will see you next Wabbles Day, but you won't see us because you got salt.
You always bring
extremely sour
Wabbles
stuff.
Day celebrations.
Yeah.
And of course, this year there is you have to wear a face mask, as is regulation now. So, so eye protection and a face mask, and you'll be let in.
So you just pour the salt onto your face mask, and
if you don't bring eye protection, you have to sign a waiver before entering. Any harm or injury is not our fault.
It's the Wabbles convention. The Wabbles Day convention.
Yeah.
The Wabbles Day Festival.
Wabbles Incorporated has gotten enough money from not laundering.
Mm-hmm. You gotta get selling those Wabbles Day cards, you know?
Yeah, for that special Wabbles in your life. So yeah. But yes, it is. This episode will be coming out on my birthday, which will be a joyous day for all, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, because we've been basing that's this month's theme is me. Well, not quite, but well, I guess quite.
No,
but
yeah,
anyway,
you're the theme.
I'm the
absolutely. Just own it.
Yeah, I am.
This is, yeah, f*** the raccoon on the cover this time. It's just Wabbles and Wabbles.
Wabbles and green Wabbles.
Yeah.
But yes.
So I have, before we, an airplane.
Oh, that's
so much for my soundproofing.
I think someone is currently running a bath in the bathroom. Hopefully that doesn't come through.
I'm not hearing that.
So I apologize to future Scar. It shouldn't. Let's just hope it doesn't start raining.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right. So, yeah. Follow up on the previous episode before we go all in on Wabbles Day.
Yeah, before we put all our Wabbles bucks in.
We talked a bit about founding fathers.
Right.
And Benjamin Franklin, and
yeah,
because we were talking about people that were on the money, and you're like, well, Benjamin Franklin wasn't a president, and was he a founding father? And I said I thought he was.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I thought he wasn't, and he was just a general American.
Just a
revolutionary. Quite, yeah. Because he was, yeah. Anyway, yes.
Yeah. Well, because he's known for other things like scientific stuff, but
right.
But he also did play a pretty big role in like setting the country up.
The Constitutional Congress.
Anyway,
yes.
Yes, I've looked this up, and according to Wikipedia, historian Richard B. Morris identified 7 figures as key founding fathers. So I feel like those are the ones that matter, if you're using the term.
Right.
And that is Adams, Jefferson, and Franklin, who were involved in writing the Declaration of Independence, as well as some other things. Hamilton, Madison, and Jay, who wrote the Federalist Papers, which was basically for the Constitution, as well as some other things. And then, of course, Washington would be number 7.
Obviously.
So...
And he was just Washington.
And he's, I mean, yeah. So that answers that question. And as for why Franklin was never president, so he died in 1790 at 84 years old.
Right.
Which was like, I think like 2 years into Washington's 1 or 2 years into Washington's first term in office. So there was never really an election where he could have run, because he was just
impossible.
Yeah, because he was just older. He spent the majority of his life not living in the United States as a country. No, so yeah, it would have been hard to be the president of something that like
doesn't really exist yet.
Barely existed just before he died. But yes, he did a lot to like in the setting up of it and the early documents and stuff. So
right,
yeah, that's
so that's covered, because I was wondering like his legitimacy of founding father title.
Right,
because I heard somewhere that he was just a guy who was just involved in shouting at the British.
Yeah, I mean, he was, a big part of like the writing of the Declaration of Independence, I think, and then also the is it the Paris Treaty or something, where like they,
oh, maybe. I think next episode we're probably gonna have a lot of correction on the history of the United States.
No, we're right, and we've done all of our learning for today.
Yeah, that's it. We've done our learning.
Yeah, the Treaty of Paris that ended the war. So,
right. There's a lot of treaties about French cities ending wars, huh?
Yeah, they like to sign their treaties there.
They like ending wars, don't they? Wait, I have got I'm
what?
Wait, now I'm worried I've made a joke and that I think it's right, and I'm not gonna even say what it is. It's saying what it is would ruin the joke. But so yeah, and our unofficial not sponsor, no, our official not sponsor, Mint Mobile. I think we have a small bit of follow up to do with this.
Yeah, so Sure came across this advertisement for our designated not sponsor, but if they would like to be our sponsor,
then we would appreciate it.
I think it would be very on brand.
Yes,
but this specifically refers to their little green mascot as a fox, which I guess makes sense because it does look like a fox. But I think
in this promotional stuff, it doesn't look more like a fox than a raccoon.
Yeah, so, I think some of the
maybe they heard what you said and backpedaled and
right.
Oh, no,
yeah, that's definitely what it is. Yeah,
they were like, frick, we're infringing on the Minty Boys
because we were like, how can you have this green raccoon character
in a mint-based
thingy? Yeah.
But
I think the fact that the fox is always wearing black glasses that like sort of make circles around its eyes make it very potentially raccoon-ish. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Well, this one is wearing glasses. Anyway, yeah, we look forward to the day we get an email from Mint Mobile. Because of course they're just a small podcast.
That's how it works on the Minty Boys podcast. We don't contact sponsors; they contact us.
Yeah, we're just so wanted.
We're like, hey, look, we're thinking about it, but we got Disney and
the guys
Valve.
upstairs. They're wanting, they're filtering it through, and they're getting like non-stop emails about this.
Our management team.
Red Bull. I don't need what do we do that requires Red Bull? I didn't know this was an extreme sport, but that they're quite adamant. Do we really need to bother to say that we're not sponsored by any of them for like legal reasons?
No.
I think should we? Okay.
I mean,
'cause I don't know.
Maybe.
UK law is a bit weird about advertising.
Yeah.
So this isn't in anywhere an endorsement of any of the names. Other energy drinks are available, and other media companies are available if you want to watch things.
Are they?
Well, actually, probably not. Disney owns everything at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's okay.
Yeah. Shut it down.
So
that's the podcast. All that sponsor money out
That's
the window.
That's yeah.
And that's the follow-up.
Yes.
You know, that thing we say every time when we're done with follow-up.
Yeah, that's what we always say. Gotta say, probably one of the weirdest follow-ups we've had. Not weirdest, but just most diverse and multi-branching, I suppose. Anyway, as we do every episode, we have a quiz.
Yep.
And I may have realised that my last quiz was slightly unforgiving.
So you made this one even harder.
So I made this one even... It hopefully shouldn't be too hard. Maybe this will be more of a testament to our friendship. No, I don't think it will. I think I've picked kind of dumb questions. Oh yeah, some of these are quite stupid. But you know, it's all a bit of fun.
It's a Wabbles Day quiz, so I assume it's going to be questions about Wabbles.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
What is the capital? No,
Wabbles Town.
We're doing 11 and a half questions. I'm sticking to it. 11 and a half questions.
Oh yeah, you told me that.
And we're doing
the other day. And
multiple choice.
I was really curious to see how you were going to have half a question.
This is it. This is the grand reveal.
Here it goes.
So it's multiple choice. For the easier questions, there's more options, and for the harder questions, I'll do less, just because it gives you higher chance of getting it right if you just guess. So, question 1. I did make this one kind of stupidly easy. But how old will I be as of the 25th of August, 2026? So, A, 23, B, 21, C, 22, or D, 25? Just basic. You know what? I thought
20, what was that year?
2026.
2026.
So, A, 23, B, 21, C, 22, or D, 25? I should have really thrown a spanner in the works and just did it the complete wrong date and just see if you would notice. But, you know, I thought I'd go for an easy question.
Oh.
22?
22?
I was born. So C? So, yeah, 22. So C.
Yes.
Correct. Okay, wait.
Correct.
Where's a pen? Correct.
Oh, God. That was so... Wait, you're British. Why am I thinking... I assumed that the question was about drinking age. Because that's, the only significant year of those ages that you listed.
Right. Well...
Because...
Not really, yeah. It's
right.
16/18, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's why. So I was thinking it's probably 21 because nothing really happens at 22 or whatever, 25.
Yeah, it was just the first thing that came to me, and I was like, you know. It's not like it would be one that'd be like, if I said 2024, you'd probably immediately get.
Right. Yeah. But I tried to do the math. And I was like, it kept coming out to 22 in my head, and I'm glad I went with that because it was correct, but the reason I wasn't struggling with the math as much as it probably sounded like it.
Yeah.
It was just, I was expecting it to come out to 21 because that was an answer, and I thought...
you had done it wrong or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know why you would ask the question otherwise.
If it was...
All right, 100%.
Wabbles mind games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Completely unintentional mind games on your part, I'm sure.
No, that was just meant to be a throwaway. Okay, question 2. How many siblings do I have? A, 1, B, 2, C, 0, or D, I have a twin. T, Z?
You need to go back and read all the other answer choices before T.
Yeah. E, 47? It's because I read twin, and then, yeah.
I know, unless you've just been... unless this is a really long con, that you have at least one.
Uh-huh.
To my knowledge, you've never mentioned any others. So unless you have like a secret brother that lives under the stairs like Harry Potter, I'm gonna say one.
Okay, yeah, correct. One.
Nice.
So okay. So how many pets ever? So every pet I've ever owned, how many of them were there? Or is there? So A, 3, B, 2, C, 1, or D, 3.5?
Does this mean it was like a shared custody, or does it mean it was like half an animal?
Yeah, the half is, yeah, like it wasn't fully mine, but like I looked after it.
Okay. I'll say 3.5 then.
Okay, yeah, sure, it's too oddly specific, so yeah, it is. So I've had, how am I forgetting this? So I had a goldfish, my current dog, and then when I was very little, we accidentally found tadpoles in my garden, and I kept them and like would feed them and stuff, so I kind of count them as pets. And then the half one is that we looked after. So whilst my uncle and auntie were moving, we looked after their dog for like a year, because they were in between homes. So we looked after him for a year. So he was kind of like our family dog for like a year or so, but he wasn't like technically mine. So yeah. So yeah, you're doing well. 3 out of 11.5. Okay.
That's not the dog that is your dog picture.
No, my current dog is here forever.
Well, no, I mean your the one that is you.
Oh no, it's not the one that is me. They got that dog after they had moved into the place. And then I took the funny photo, and yeah, I mean of myself. Obviously, it was a selfie.
Yeah. Clearly,
and I thought I looked kind of cute. Not gonna lie.
A selfie, not at all. Just you taking a picture of
not
someone else's dog.
No. Why would I do that? That's weird. So this is the beginning of the medium questions. So, to be fair, this one is fairly easy. I just thought, it'd be interesting to see how this goes. So number 4, what is my favorite game? It's A, Minecraft, B, Portal 2, C, Ravenfield, or D, Cities Skylines.
Those are all games I've witnessed you playing.
Quite a bit of.
I'm gonna say Portal 2, but not with much confidence.
Yeah, that's incorrect. Sorry, it is Minecraft. The Portal 2 is definitely a close second, I must say.
Okay, and then third, I would guess Cities Skylines, but maybe that's.
I think City Skylines and Ravenfield are kind of tied to me.
Yeah.
Tied to me. Not like they're physically attached to me via rope.
Yeah, you downloaded the Steam game and then you burned it on a CD and then you tied that CD with some yarn.
I tied the CD. Right. So now I just carry around these discs on my arms. I was going to have a question about nostalgia games, like games that give me the most nostalgia. But what was weird is that they range from the 2008 game, Rabbids Go Home, to, I have no idea how old the game is, Simpsons Hit and Run. I think that's early 2000s. So I just thought that was just a bit weird of a... Also because I can't really pick a favourite out of those games. They're like by children. You can't really pick a favourite. It is quite funny. I've put all my games on my bookshelf because we were clearing out space, and I just have all my games up there now.
Nice.
But to be fair, I have way more. I need to go find my other Xbox games and put the rest up there, and all my buses, of course. Okay, so I think this one I should have realized this should have been the easy question, but number 5. What is my favorite snack food? Is it A, popcorn, B, salt and vinegar crisps, C, pretzels, or D, chocolate?
I'm gonna say C, pretzels, but
yeah,
okay.
Right. I thought just because I like all of those ones quite a lot, so I was just wondering if that would they're all in my top 5 or so.
Your top tier.
But yeah, top tier snack is the if you wanna If you don't have pretzels and you want to bring something to the Wabbles Day celebration, any of those will do.
Yeah.
So, question 6.
Is there a bottom tier snack that is like commonly a snack food, but
prawn and cocktail flavored crisps are pretty despicable.
Okay.
And anything wet and cold. But no, that's too broad. There are some exceptions to that rules, but like
no
maybe,
ice cubes.
No ice cubes. No. Well, that would be quite an awful snack. And unless you like eating ice cubes for fun, then by all means, knock yourself out.
It's like
don't need that many ice creams. But
it's like the equivalent of coal at Christmas. It's like you break open the upside down piñata and it's just frozen ice. Prawns.
Yeah, that's what happens to. Yeah, that's
and blocks of ice.
Naughty
Wabbles.
Wabblers, yeah.
All right.
So yeah, question 6. Where did WWW 626 originate from? Like which game? So was it A, Club Penguin, B, Minecraft, or C, Ben Weebles? I've decided to go for 3 because I feel like it's quite.
I think it's Club Penguin.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
I knew because that's just a more obscure thing, which is it's been my username since my sister made my Club Penguin account for me 12 years ago. But yeah. Okay. So you're on 5. Okay. Number 7. Okay, this one's kind of mean of me, but what time of day was I born? A, 11:47 p.m., B, 2:47 a.m., or C, 11:36 a.m.
See, this is one of those questions where it's like, in some ways it's nicer than the last quiz you made, because it's multiple choice. But at the same time, this is something that I probably couldn't even Google. Like, you could give me unlimited time to answer this, and it would be way harder to get the correct answer than any of the royal family questions you asked me.
I was gonna say something that you could have used, but wait, that might give away the time. So, well, obviously it would give away the time because you could just look it up. And I did.
I mean, there might be a public record somewhere, but it's not the sort of thing that would be an easy Google search.
A Google search, especially for a US citizen.
Yeah.
But I thought it reminds me of what you do of the when you do the years, where you do 2 that are similar in one way, and then the other one one of them is similar to in a similar way.
So what were the times again? Can you tell me?
So A is 11:47 p.m. B is 2:47 a.m. and C is 11:36 a.m.
I'm gonna say A, 11:47 p.m.
That is incorrect. It is C, 11:36 a.m.
That's my second choice. Out of 3, which is like not, it's pretty good odds that I would have it. But
yeah. So question 8, I think. Well, this one is also kind of mean, but what year in the British schooling system am I in? As of the school year coming up, not the one that's just passed. So, am I in A, year 10, B, year 11, or C, year 12? This is require you to know
year 11?
The schooling system. Yes, year 11.
Nice.
Okay, 9. This is an interesting one. So, when did we first start talking about starting the podcast, or like a podcast that eventually turned into this? So this is again quite a dumb one. I probably should have used dates, but it's too late now. So A, 2 years and 10 months ago. B, 2 years and 3 months ago, or C, 2 years and 1 month ago?
Is this based on messages? Which I guess they probably
based
were.
on when we... Yeah, I had to scroll back quite far on Discord to find them. Thank goodness the search feature exists, actually.
It might be off by a few days if it was brought up in a voice chat first, but I don't know. I'll trust that that this is accurate, and it's also like, even if it's not, I would guess it's pretty close. Now what were the answers?
I was thinking I could do it down to like the hours because of how Discord works, but I decided, you know what, never mind. I think just months would be a good cutting off point.
Yeah. How many seconds has it been? Go. No, so it was 2 years and 10 months, 2 years and
3 months, and C, 2 years and 1 month.
10 months.
So A, 2 years and 10 months?
Yeah.
That is incorrect. That is... So, all of these dates are somewhat based on the DNA of this podcast, I suppose. But 2 years and 10 months ago wasn't specifically about this podcast. This was just about us starting a podcast, which was going to be a rival to the Two Tims Talking podcast, which was the spin-off podcast from HI. 2 years 1 month ago was when we recorded episode 0. But 2 years 3 months ago was when we legitimately like, oh yeah, we should like do something. That'd be cool.
Okay.
So the answer was B, because that was what then actually started this podcast.
Yeah, and I guess it hasn't been quite 2 years since episode 1 yet.
No, it's just under. Well, yeah.
In my head, I was kind of thinking, like, yeah, if it's already been 2 years, and I know we did episode 0 first, and we sat on that for a while before actually deciding to do an episode 1 and stuff. So
yeah,
I went with the longest one because I knew there was a good period at the beginning where we didn't release anything.
We just kind of talked about it.
But I should have counted in for the fact that it's like we won't actually hit 2 years since episode 1 for another 2 months.
2 months, yeah. Because we did the double episodes in December that 1 year. That 1 year. We've been doing it so long.
One of those. Yeah.
One of those. So long ago now. So, question 10. So you're more than 50%.
So I only got 2.5 questions left.
Yeah. Okay. So question 10. What is the name of the dog in my profile picture? Not Wabbles, obviously, but what is the name of the actual dog who is existing right now? Is it A, Freddy, B, Moby, or C, Barnabas?
Freddy, Moby, and Barnabas. I'm going to say Barnabas because it just seems like something you wouldn't come up with.
C, that's incorrect. His name is actually Freddy. Question 11. What is the name of the current dog I actually own? Is it A, Moby, B, Percy, or C, Mikey?
Mikey.
Yeah.
It just sounded right. I think I've heard you say it before.
Yeah, because it's Mike. And Moby was actually the dog, the half pet. His name was the dog that we looked after for a few months. But yeah, who's actually the big brother of me? No, for Freddy. And question 11.5, the moment we've all been waiting for. In which year did...
Hello?
Yeah, what? That's half a question.
What?
That's the half question.
Oh, you cut out, I think. No, wait, what? It's... Oh, wait. That confused me so much. 20... In which year did we start the podcast is going to be my guess. And
oh no, I wasn't anticipating an answer. That was just gonna.
I'm gonna say
you're gonna fill in the question for me.
I should know this. It's only been so if
I mean,
yeah, 2019, right? No. 2018. 2018. No, 2019.
I don't know what you're trying to answer. I
was trying to answer your half question.
Ah, I see. Well, I mean, I'm just gonna give you another point because I don't even know what that was myself.
You didn't have a half answer? Oh wait, the answer should have just been 20.
Okay, wait.
I got it wrong.
Well, sure, why not?
I'm a fool.
So, shucks. How did you fall for such an easy question? Well, that was the Wabbles Day quiz. You got 7 out of the 11.5. So, that's I think that's worked out well. I think you've redeemed yourself from the British royal family quiz.
I'm sad I didn't get the half a point.
Oh.
But I got 7.
I can give you half a point if it'll make you feel better.
What? Well, you could give me half credit on the half a question, since I did technically get half of the... Because I said 20.
You got half of the half question, right?
Yeah, I said 2019 when it was just 20. So
right.
If you half my answer, then it would have been the correct answer for the half question.
Or would have it been 1,000?
So if you give me half credit...
What if it was 1,009.5?
What?
Because that's half of 2019.
I don't even think I can get half credit then.
You gave, like, an 11th? 11th? No, that's not maths.
Get 7 and 1/16th point out of 11.5.
You got a 16th of a half credit.
Oh, well, 16th of a half.
So that's a 30-second credit.
Yeah.
Sure. Let's put that on the document.
Harsh.
So that was the Wabbles Day quiz. I hope all of you at home enjoyed that. I don't think it was as much about the quiz and as much about the friends we made along the way, which is no one because it's just me and you here.
Yeah.
I mean, Craig is quite cold. He doesn't say much.
I hope you learned something about Wabbles and Wabbles culture, and treat your Wabbles well.
Like you would your neighbor.
Yeah. And at this point, after the fact, I would like to say, play along. Pause after Wabbles asks the question and say your answers out loud so that you're not cheating.
And if someone got 1,009.5, I will fly out to wherever you are and give you a free Wabbles Day piñata. And that's wait, sorry, I was just getting it. Okay, no, the guys upstairs, they say we can't do that. Never mind. But
those guys are the worst.
Yeah, I know. Such buzzkills. But, you will earn my gratitude. Sure, you'll earn my gratitude. I will thank you personally for getting 1,009.5.
It's so weird that your neighbors that live above you are, also your boss.
Yes. And also considering I live in a normal house with no... it's a weird setup. But... yeah.
Their office is in a helicopter. It just stays above your house.
But I treat my Wabbles as I would treat them. So yeah, treat your Wabbles as you would
your Wabbles treatment plant.
Yeah, we have a Wabbles treatment plant. It's
a cactus.
That's where we, that's where we mass produce our Wabbles. But what I just.
How has Corona been affecting the
Wabbles
Wabbles production? It's probably down, but the Wabble stock is down.
We had less workers in to make Wabbles. But we've been
wobbling about.
We're starting to get the workforce back in.
Mm-hmm.
You have to wear Wabbles free branded face masks. Sorry, I just had a weird brief moment where I realized what the words I was saying were. But speaking of lockdown, sure, that's the transition. That's the transition we're going for. Of course, that's been the thing everyone's been in, or most people have been in, for the past few months. But this September, I'll be going back into school for the first time, which will be interesting because to be fair, I do want to go back in because at this point I'm just kind of bored, I guess. But it's just been interesting how I've just had months of just nothing really, and now I'm gonna have to get up and get dressed and not just sit in bed thinking about whatever I think about. I don't honestly know. And it's just gonna be interesting because the way they are doing it is they'll have we're gonna be our year groups are gonna be split, so we can't go into our own other year groups and mingle with other years, which I don't think really bothers me because it's not like I have most of my bestest buddies are in my year anyway.
Okay.
As it's just school life, but
the way he started to say that, I thought you were gonna be like, it's not like I have friends,
It's not like I see people anyway, but yeah, no, it's just gonna be weird.
Mm-hmm.
Just going back in and seeing everyone. But yeah, it's just kind of interesting. Over here, lockdown is kind of coming to an end. And I don't know, it's just been a really weird year of my life, I think. I don't think, for me personally, it hasn't actually been the worst. It's been probably one of the best. But, of course, but it's just kind of sucked being indoors all this time. But it's just interesting because it's kind of like the end of... It was just weird in April, me thinking we'll be fine by June. And then in June thinking, we'll be fine by July. If I'm thinking it'd be fine by August, and it's okay, we're still here.
Right, I recall someone saying everything was going to be reopened by Easter.
Yeah.
And the Easter episode of the Minty Boys podcast has come and gone, as with the passage of time.
And we're approaching whatever we're doing in September.
Yeah.
And we've already still in lockdown. But yeah, it's just gonna be weird just going back to normal life now.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting times, though.
Interesting times. I think that's the terms everyone's been using. And I mean, I feel like I have done the thing of using this time productively to make improvements.
Right.
But what has been bizarre though is it's basically this whole time having a long distance relationship of talking to a person but not really being able to see them at all. It's just been a weird so
yeah
I don't know, that's the way I'm glad there's so many things in place that I could still communicate with my friends and loved ones in this time. So it's been I don't know, it's just gonna be weird going back to normal and because before I'd be talking to a friend and at the beginning we were we should plan. Oh wait, no, we can't. So it's gonna be weird doing this again, and then going to people, talking to people we should meet up sometime, and then having that moment of wait, no, yes we can.
Yeah,
and not having to worry about public transport or where we would need to wear masks or where's easiest to social distance, and it's just wow, this has just been this weird thing I've been micromanaging in the back of my head for 6 months, and now I'm not gonna have to worry about this ever again. Well, hopefully.
Well, yeah. maybe some capacity for the next couple of months. I don't know. I don't know what the situation is over there, honestly. But
I mean, I kind of stopped paying attention to the news months ago. It just made me very sad.
Yeah.
I might start, because I don't think it'll be as depressing now. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it'll be better.
Well, I don't know how much of the U.S. election is gonna bleed over into your news, but that's about to start ramping up. So.
Oh yeah, it does a kind of a bit like when the bit just before the election is when everyone like the news will report on it, but they report on everyone's new thing.
Sure.
They reported on like there was one recently. Maybe in Ethiopia. It's just weird because they do talk about the elections in other countries and what their results are, and of course they do a big thing. Well, they can't do that big of a thing for our general election because there's rules against that. But I think it just feels more prominent to people that just because it's the US, like I would be listening to the radio and they mention something about another country electing its leader, and I'd be like, oh, okay. But then when just because it's the US and because of the media I consume online, which is mainly American, that's apparently it's because it's obviously it's a very important thing over there. So of course I will hear about it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like even just if it's from like American YouTubers and stuff, just casually mentioning things like
But it also, that's the same thing has applied to some like European politics as well, where I will recognize some like it's like one of those things where I couldn't tell you the thing just from my brain, but if someone told me the person's name, I'd be like, oh yeah, I know who that is and like who they are and what they do.
Right. I feel like in the US the news doesn't really report on like politics in other countries like hardly at all.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe that's just my impression. I don't watch much like traditional media anyways, but I sort of seek out like some information about the UK because I just I consume some content from there, and so
that's fair enough. I have been interested in looking. It's actually it is weird because I'm I think out of like all of the people I really know, I'm the most interested in the US political system. I think it's just because I'm quite nerdy in like systems and stuff like that, and governmental structures. But I'm the person who talks about it like the least. But it's just kind of interesting when people. I don't know. I think just because of like the type of media I consume, it's kind of like the Dunning-Kruger effect, where you underestimate how much you know, and compared to what there is to know. So when I hear people not understanding how the USA system works at all, I'm like, oh yeah, people don't get like the electoral college and stuff,
right?
They don't even know that exists.
Yeah.
And I have to it's not exactly like the people's vote. It kind of is, but not really. But it is, but not really. It's just like
yeah. I feel weird like because we have so many like international friends on Discord.
Yeah.
I feel weird when someone in like India or Italy or somewhere knows like basically the general idea of what's going on in the US, and it's like
and you have no idea what's going on.
Right, yeah, if you asked me like
India or
who is in charge of just random European countries, it's like I mean
right.
I know of Boris Johnson, but like I'd be hard pressed to name any of the other ones.
Right.
It's a little bit like my feeling on like foreign language, where like people will speak English on Discord and also know like the language from like their country, and then like maybe another one as well.
Just for the sake of it, or like
just because like they learned it in school,
convenience
or whatever. It's like so know like minimum 2, maybe 3 or more languages, and it's like I
right.
Basically just got English. I know like a few words in French.
Yeah, I do want to learn another language, but the issue is that the only proper time I've had that was school, and I don't like the way they taught it just didn't engage my brain at all. So I've kind of just missed that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've been trying to pick up Spanish and failing quite a bit, because that wasn't one of my lockdown goals, was to not speak Spanish. Because I don't think I'll get to that point in a
We
lockdown,
used
but,
Duolingo.
yeah, I've been using Duolingo and
Not
stuff.
Spawn.
I did pretty well. I was not a spawn. You can use Babbel or Rosetta Stone, or just Google Translate, and a lot of guessing. Though apparently it's not good for Russian, because it doesn't do female words correctly. It's just
It doesn't do female words correctly? What?
So just the way they add, like in Spanish or French or German, or just
Are you saying Russian Google Translate is sexist?
Yeah, it doesn't want any women.
It's like there are no
you know
women
what?
in Russia.
Probably I'm not gonna have a dig at the entire country of Russia. That might not be exactly the most airtight. Airtight? That's not the word I'm thinking of. Not the most tactical move. If I know our demographic suddenly becomes more Eastern. Maybe if we should start speaking like Russian, and maybe we'll get loads of listeners.
The rest of this podcast will be in a Russian accent.
Right. You know what? I'm not gonna even attempt to speak the little Russian I know, because I know there is a person listening who can speak Russian quite well, and they would bully me for it. So we're just gonna leave that here. There.
That's the trouble with the internet. It's like I'm not gonna even try to give opinions on this thing, because I know someone listening is gonna
know more about it than me.
Right.
Right. I mean, we can debate if water is wet all day, and no one can really argue against us. But like, if I suddenly say, "What's the deal with string theory?" Surely we should be, I don't know. Just all of the quantum physicists will just...
Clearly, yarn theory is better.
This is all actually to do with crochet.
Yeah.
We'll get a bunch of grannies telling us the type of
get that
wool.
The burlap theory.
Cotton theory. But yes, opinions on the internet are very hard to have, because you just kind of sometimes just need to pick a hill and just kind of die on it, and just like not even fight, just give up, just die on it, just like this is we were talking about something, weren't we? But yes,
I hope so. Wabbles, an hour and a half into this, I hope we were talking about something.
Maybe we've just been like tripping out this whole time, and we're just gonna listen back, and it's just gonna be unusable garbage.
Right.
And...
It's like, oh no, did I not hit record? No, I did hit record. I just have an hour and a half of like
screaming
silence, but it's like the mic was definitely picking stuff up, and it was breathing quietly, but we forgot to actually say words out loud.
We were communicating telepathically, and we just completely forgot.
We were both we were like running through the conversation in our head, and we were just guessing at what the other one said, but
and like, okay, maybe it's just a microphone problem. And when we check Craig's audio files, and it's still just nothing.
Yeah.
But but yeah, this has been to bring us back to what I was talking about earlier. It's just, yeah, this has been an interesting time, and yeah, I hope it all will go well with everyone, and that everyone's doing well.
So are you planning on doing anything for your birthday?
So as it stands, I should be like, because of general rules here, I'm gonna invite a couple friends over, and we're just gonna eat food and play computer games.
Nice.
So yeah, that should be quite fun. Well, I think I'll play Jackbox games and Overcooked. If I can hook it up properly, we probably could also do like Stick Fight and Brawlhalla maybe. I'll see if I can get the PS4, the thing that can trick a PS4 controller into being like, hello, I am Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to just bring up birthday parties because, it felt relevant to Wabbles Day. And I just was thinking about, like, it's just, like, a weird thing that has been in my life for the past, like, all of my life, basically. And then just recently, they've just kind of disappeared. Like, birthday parties, that is. Yeah, because I go to parties all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I don't know. It's just, I find it quite weird. And also just, like, now I think about it, how really weird it is of a thing it is. Like, I'm not gonna explain the concept of a birthday party to an alien, because this episode will be 4 times as long.
Yeah.
But it's just it would be, it's just, even to, like, let's say it was just someone from a culture where that's not a thing. Trying to explain it to them, I haven't had this phenomena of cultural differences, but even because I think it's probably the same between the UK and the US. It's probably how it is.
Yeah.
Because of in globalization and whatever. But I just realized how, like, it must be quite a weird thing of, like, yeah, I don't know. It's just been quite weird, just like the way it all works and how it's like gathering, like, not like, it's not even like friends, it's just classmates, and then you have like this weird arbitrary theme. I'm talking about very little kids. Obviously, this hasn't been. My 15th, 16th birthday party isn't going to be. We're not going to have a magician and
Yeah.
a clown. But I don't know. And I don't know. It's just like a really weird cultural thing that has been a part of my life for ages.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's weird. I'm just like, I guess if I have kids in the future, it's not really going to be a thing anymore. Because, like, for me, since like the age of 10, I've been going to like paintball or like doing not like having a party in the traditional sense, but like when you meet together as a group and then go do a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a popular.
That's what it's mainly like.
Type of.
Yeah.
Birthday.
It's like paintballing or one, like, laser tag was with one group of friends. Oh, actually, one year a friend invited. I went to a Go Ape, which is a high ropes type thing where they you get clipped in on a harness and then you have to go for an obstacle course through trees and stuff, which is kind of cool.
Oh yeah, I've seen those. That looks like something that I would enjoy, but I've never done one.
I mean, it's quite fun. I did that a couple of years ago. That was good. Though I think I'm at the age where if I just have another person with me, I could just kind of just go. But but yeah, even more recently, like I've had a friend's birthday during the lockdown, or when it was softening up, and instead of like, it kind of happened that way, but I ended up with, like, going around his house on his birthday, and we just kind of hung out and went camping in his garden. He has a very big garden. And I don't know, it was a good time, but it's just weird because it's like, like the older you get, it's just you appreciate the little things more, I suppose. Like, instead of inviting my whole class, I've invited 3 of my friends I consider like my closest chums. And yeah, I don't know. I guess it's weird over time seeing this, like, gradual this gradual decline of, like, the types of parties people are having, because now it's getting to it gets to a weird point where their celebrations are having, like, not like, I guess, like in my class, it's not everyone is involved anymore. It's like this group is involved or this group is involved, and so on and so forth.
Yeah,
and that's quite interesting.
Yeah, I feel like I always preferred parties like that, but
yeah,
like, I mean, my ideal birthday party is like a couple of friends, like, hanging out and playing some tabletop games or video games. Like, it's
I am hoping one year, if I guess it depends what all my friends do, but like having a LAN party or something like that, that sounds like that'd be a lot of fun, of going into one room and plugging in all the computers and just having a time. Though I have just made a realization. I've got Halo 1 and Halo 2 for the Xbox. If I buy 2 controllers off eBay, we could play Halo.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Or we could do it's such a weird thing with the whole split screen play, how that's not really a thing anymore. It's quite
You're gonna
But like
party like it's 2004.
Right. Just gonna. I'm going back to my roots. Yeah. Or Lego Star Wars. That's up to 4 players. That would be exciting. We've got Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga.
You're just like, guys, we can play split screen.
Or with cars. But anyway, yeah. I've got Pac-Man World. Isn't that banger? Everyone remembers Pac-Man World 3. Pac-Man World 3.
I think I did actually play that one once.
Yeah, I've played I got scared when I was little.
Wait, is that one of the weird 3D Pac-Mans, or is it the...
Yeah.
Oh.
It's the 3D platformer.
Oh, no, I don't think I have played that one. What am I thinking of? I know I played Pac-Man Fever, but that's not what I'm thinking. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
I've got The Simpsons Hit and Run. Just looking at all my games now. Anyway, yes.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Well, yeah, it says it on the box. Classics. Need for Speed Underground 2. Shrek, the game. Oh, Midway Arcade. That's cool. That's Midway Arcade Treasures 3. It's like all of those arcade games where it's that would be in an arcade. We have to insert the coin, and then like you get to use the steering wheel. It's a big collection of those from like really old retro ones.
You make your friends bring a bunch of coins.
Yeah, I just like, no, you have to insert a coin onto my hand. Not, but yeah, that is just, yeah, I don't know. It's just a weird reflection I've had lately of how just weird birthday parties are in general, I suppose. And yeah, I don't know. It's been interesting.
Yeah. Well, I think we're about ready for the game section, but before we get there, maybe we should talk about something.
Game hijinks.
Something a little vaguely game related. It's been in the news recently.
It has. Yeah. So, do I understand the situation well? Yes. So, basically, Fortnite has had a new update where there's a way of getting V-Bucks that kind of bypasses the Apple Store's 30% cut thingy on games.
Yeah.
I don't think we have to explain what Fortnite is.
Yeah, probably don't need to explain that, but there's a link to a Polygon article that I found that I feel like does a good summary. I don't know. I didn't read the whole thing. But, yeah. So, basically, Apple has a policy of, like, any in-app purchases have to go through their payment system so that they can take a 30% cut.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's not talked about as much, I think, because they made that video that's, like, parodying the Apple commercial, yeah. But they are actually suing Apple and Google.
Yeah.
So I think Google has the same.
Yeah, the Android App Store has also dropped.
Yeah.
Fortnite.
Yeah, and they take the same 30%.
Yes.
Which is, if you're trying to make a case that it's like a monopoly, then that is, at least in U.S. antitrust stuff, I'm pretty sure it's like, even if it's multiple companies, if they're like sort of working together to set prices and things like that.
It's a duopoly, isn't it?
It can be. It can still be considered
like Verizon and AT&T.
Right. Yeah.
Like they're basically the same company. They do the same thing. It's just so they can both have competition, but then are in agreement with that where they keep their prices the same.
Right.
Or at least similar.
Yeah. They offer a lot of the same deals and stuff, and it's like. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's interesting.
I don't. The thing is, like, I don't like Epic Games that much. I think this, like.
Right.
I don't know. Their policies and stuff, and like some of the moves they've made, like when they bought the Rocket League company so they could pull it off Steam.
Yeah. And I was gonna say the buying out Borderlands 3 to be exclusive to that platform. But to be fair, most of that money was needed for the development of the game, so I don't think that's really an issue. But yeah, though people did have that as a big issue of it being on exclusive to Epic for a while.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, it was the only way the game would become the game it has become. So I don't think that's too... Because that's just... Exclusivity is just what feeds the gaming economy.
Right, and like I get that, yeah, like they're trying to...
Competition and... Yeah,
they're trying to establish themselves, and like Steam
does need competition, definitely.
Right, they've been like dominant in that market for a long time.
We've talked about this before, probably quite a while ago, but we have talked about how Steam is in need of changes, and I think the only way they can have that is by having a competitor.
Mm.
And there's like Uplay and stuff, but I think Epic Games is like the only one that has a chance of competing, I think.
Right.
Oh, and Blizzard's Battle.net, I think that also has a chance just because of how, yeah, the only way to play their games is through that. So yeah.
But Epic seems to be the most successful, other than Steam, at selling games that aren't their games.
Yes.
It's like, yeah. Like Uplay, the guy's exclusivity on like Assassin's Creed or whatever, I guess. I don't even know if it does.
Yes.
But I don't think there's much else on it.
Yeah, apart from... But also, even if you go through Steam, which I think Steam is definitely the biggest vendor for not their own game, because Valve stopped making games ages ago. But even if you get a Ubisoft game, they will still make you go through Uplay, which I think is weird.
Mm-hmm.
I guess just because they didn't want to have it's easier to make their own integrated online system instead of going through Steam.
Right. But yeah, we got a little bit off topic, but
oh yeah.
But yeah, this case, it's like I don't even know how I feel about this. Like I don't think it's wrong necessarily for Apple to be taking a cut of like
I think
app sales and stuff.
It probably takes it probably, because now most games are free. They're not making as much money as they did when you had to pay.
Right.
Now that we're in this weird ad-topia of
right
every game being free, but it has loads of ads.
And like, yeah. Like I don't think in-app purchases on free games should be treated any different than like buying a game outright. Like that doesn't seem like a good. They should probably get a cut of both of those, because it is their platform. Like I don't know. I can see an argument of like it's a large platform, but
yeah,
thinking of it in comparison to like the Switch, like I'm sure Nintendo gets a cut of any like digital game that is sold on the Switch. Like it's their hardware.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Like I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is, and I don't know like what I want to come out of this, or like who I want to win, really, because it's like, I mean, I don't want like Apple and Google to have this crazy monopoly where they can like, 30% might be too high. Like maybe it should be 10%. I don't know.
And there are a lot of games on both. Oh, like it's not like there used to be a lot of things of like, oh, this game's only on Apple or not on Android, but that's not really a thing anymore, apart from Nintendo things. But
yeah. But like if you have, I don't know. Like if you have a mobile game, or you're like making a mobile game, and they say like they both agree, oh, it's gonna be 40% now. Like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna leave? Like,
yeah.
So it's I do see like the situation is like, maybe there should be something preventing them from being huge evil corporations.
Right. Because it's not like there's any other operating systems that for mobile devices trying to oppose them either.
Yeah.
So
like you're gonna try and sell your game
I
on
think Huawei
Windows
might be trying
phones.
to, but I'm not sure.
That isn't Huawei
Yeah,
use
Windows
Android.
phones was yeah. And to be fair, it's not like if it. I mean, I don't think. Well, I suppose. So with Epic, as I say, they don't really make a loss if the mobile market drops because they still have loads of people on PlayStation and Xbox and PC. But then again, I think the mobile market is quite big because I mean, I say that might sound wrong, but like people who are aware of Fortnite probably own a phone or some kind of device.
Right.
It's like with Minecraft, how most of its sales are in the mobile market.
Right.
So they're probably wanting to keep hold of that because then, if they lost,
and they have a lot to gain. Like, I don't know the numbers, but I would guess that.
Yeah, I don't know for Fortnite, but yeah.
Like, they probably looked at the situation with the antitrust hearings that were recently and thought, you know what, like, there's a chance we could win, and if you compare like the cost of like the legal fees and stuff of this compared to the amount of money that we could like rake in if we didn't have to pay that extra 30%, like I'm sure that gamble was worth it for them in a way that it probably wouldn't be for a lot of like independent developers.
Yeah, because like they are or it's here like a $17 billion company, so
right,
they have a chance of getting a good bite of the trillion dollar market.
Right, and it's like not only do they have enough money to initiate something like this, but they also have a lot to gain because like
the two biggest companies in the world.
The in-app purchases on Fortnite must be crazy. Like
yeah,
definitely. Probably billions of dollars or something.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot tied up in V-Bucks.
If you're losing 30% of your V-Buck revenue.
Yeah, that must be big.
And you think you have even a remote shot of getting some of it, then it's
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
And it's not like
I don't
not too big of a booster for Apple and Google because I don't think that the V-Bucks money is really going to be much to them really.
Yeah,
they're mainly making money from tech products and AI development. They're not going to like.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they're not going to want to give that up because it's also the issue is they're not just fighting for Fortnite specifically. They're trying to change the way the system works, and I don't know how much money Apple was making off of Fortnite. It's not making anything with it, not on the store, obviously. But if you're talking about changing the percentage or removing the percentage that they get off of every app on the App Store, that might actually be pretty significant. I don't know what percentage of their revenue comes from apps, but it's weird because I'm in the situation where it's like I kind of don't care, and it's like I don't want. I want like everyone to lose here, if that's possible.
Yeah, because it's like Epic is like, it's a company I don't really like the way they treat.
Yeah, it's like I don't like their business practices, and it's like
and then it's.
But I don't want.
But then again, it's like I don't want to support the hyper rich.
Right. But either way this goes, it could set some pretty important precedents for just monopolistic tech companies in the future.
Yes, which is scarily looking more and more like a reality as the days go by. But yeah, hopefully it's all like I don't know. As you're Oh no, never mind. That's probably now's not a good time to try bring up another side tangent.
You can if you want to.
No, it's just. I mean,
I hope it all goes for the best. Like, I don't know what else to say, but
yeah.
It'll be.
I was just gonna make a general critique on capitalism, but I don't think that's the time to start.
Yeah.
Rallying the commies, but
season
but yeah.
Season 3 of Minty Boys will be just economic debates.
Yeah, it will be red and the season colors will be red and yellow. Or we'll bring world class economists and Marxists and whatever and such to speak on the topic of stuff.
Yeah. You thought this podcast was about nothing, but now it's strictly about civics and economics.
Right. This is gonna be it's gonna be about civics and economics and I guess a bit about history and geopolitics.
Mm-hmm.
And probably philosophy.
We're gonna study up a lot between now and then.
Yes. Gonna read a lot of books on political science.
Yeah.
And
first 2 seasons spent learning how to read. Third season, I'm a professor now.
Going to one of the trickiest subjects to read up on. So. We ready to game? Games?
Yeah, games. I already mentioned that I've been playing some Magic lately with my brother as part of the gamification of our exercise goals.
Yeah.
But maybe partly related to that, I've just gotten back into Magic in general to the point where I am playing MTGA a lot more. Oh wait, yeah, it was mentioned last episode, the Mac version.
Oh, has that revolutionized the way you play Magic?
Magic Arena. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I have some screenshots here that I will share with you.
Screenshots.
Here they come.
This is telling quite a sad story. There's more. I think I've seen a couple of these before. I'm just trying to think.
There you go.
Oh, wow, looks like you've had a really great time.
So, yeah, been loving being able to play it more easily on my preferred platform, Mac OS.
Looks like they've really optimized it.
It works. It works great.
Yeah.
I mean, in all honesty, there was an update recently, and it has been working a lot better now.
Right.
It was pretty annoying when it first released. Every time I would try and open it, it would say, an asset error occurred during your last play session. Validating asset files to ensure stability. And then it would, basically re-download the whole thing.
Oh, right.
And just every time you tried to open it. So it's have to open it in advance of, when I want to play it. Give it time to basically reinstall itself.
Right.
But then it usually worked pretty well once it was opened.
Right.
But the good news is it doesn't do that anymore.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
You can game in peace.
Have you been playing anything?
Have I? What other kind of? Oh, so I've been playing Gravenfield again, actually. That was interesting because I used to play it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then I stopped for a while because I just kind of got carried away downloading mods. And it got to a point where I downloaded so many mods that it physically couldn't run on my, it was I didn't have enough RAM to run the program. So I spent an hour or so going through the mods and being like, is this like an actual good mod, and blah blah blah, and then like sifting through it and deleting some, and being like, oh, when was the last time I like played this map or something.
Yeah.
So I've been getting back into that, and it's interesting. I think I may have mentioned, but it like the developers have been working a lot on it, and it has like a conquest mode where it's like has like an actual campaign with strategy, and like you have money and science, and you can like get weapon upgrades or buy new vehicles and stuff like that. And there's the Spec Ops mode has been updated, and yeah, there's just every time I go back, it's still being updated, and it's becoming quite a nice polished game instead of just a sandbox mess around game. But yeah, then there's like a dialogue system now, and it's just like the development of a dialogue system, and it's just been quite interesting seeing it develop over time. I've been having a couple of people around now. Just as lockdown's being lifted, I've been playing Overcooked and Stick Fight the game, and going on 2playgames.org, and it's just quite nice how much there's a lot of games you can play for 2 people now.
What was 2playgames.org?
2playgames.org, yeah.
What is that?
It's just a bunch of Flash games that you can have with 2 players.
Oh.
Like Get on Top or Fireboy and Water Girl. Or there's some really dumb ones actually.
Is that like that
Like me and my
movie?
cousin spent a lot of time sifting through. No, not Shark Boy and Lava Girl. But just me and my cousin just spent sometimes go on like crappy Flash game sites and just spent ages going through all of the garbage.
Mm-hmm.
But I say that it's free, and it's probably made by a 12-year-old in a weekend, so I probably shouldn't be too harsh. But
yeah, I mean, some Flash games were pretty great. I remember playing a lot of those.
Yeah. I played some bangers. But yeah, I've been getting into the multiplayer game market, I guess. I've been playing Borderlands again, and getting back into Borderlands 2. Because I beat Borderlands over just because I started playing it in quarantine and kind of just beat it. I stopped playing it for a while and beat it recently. And then I'm going through the second playthrough where you keep leveling up, just all of the enemies are now leveled with you. And I decided to just go back to Borderlands 2 just to remind me, or just to keep going in the story, I guess. And yeah, it's just been, I don't know, because more recently, since school stopped, I've just had, that is something that's happened since the last episode, is just I have nothing. So before I had school, I think I talked about school ending, but now I just have nothing to do really, and
You're
I've
just
been waking up and be like...
Summer vacation.
Yeah, so I now have double nothing. So I've just been spending my time playing lots of games, or
It just started
I don't know. It's
pouring rain here. Is that coming through the microphone?
I don't think I can't hear it. It's not picking up for me. But that's just Discord. I'm turning my head to see if I can hear it better, but that's not how it works.
I'm tempted to go on the outside of my little fort here and see if it's louder.
Sure. Just have a quick rain check.
If I bump this table off this other table and everything falls, I'll scream, and then you know.
Makes me wish the webcam was on. See it all unfold. Oh, I can kind of hear it. I can hear a pittering on the window.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah, I can kind of hear it when you got up, and
honestly, it sounds about the same.
I can hear it like it think it's like a faint like.
Yeah.
It's nothing like too distracting or like I really it was just because you were quiet I was able to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's just like ever so slightly quieter, I guess, in this little bubble.
It hasn't rained here because you can definitely tell when it's raining here. But yeah, my gaming has just been mainly just yeah. It's weird. I started Borderlands at the beginning of this and thought, oh, this would be like my game I would sit down and play and try to get through. I probably should have picked a more long form game. I think I wish I had an amount like I've been saving up for a computer for a while and I don't really want to spend my money, but I definitely would have got Animal Crossing because then I had a lot of time. I would have used all of this summer to be playing that.
Yeah, I need to get back to that at some point.
Have you been reducing your New Horizons-ness?
Yeah, I haven't played in it, and I don't know how much time has passed.
I can check right now. Well, wait, will it tell me? Oh, is my Switch even charged? We're gonna find out live on air. Oh wait, my Switch isn't charged. Oh wait, what? Oh, I moved my Switch downstairs to play games, and I've put it back in my room with the stand, but the stand hasn't been plugged in.
Oh, yeah.
So it hasn't been charging, so it's almost dead. So
I've done that before.
So yeah, that's me for gaming. It's nothing really new.
New Paper Mario looks good. Haven't played it yet. Going to play it probably before next episode.
Oh, cool. So and we'll hear on that. Oh, and I mentioned one of my friends has gotten into Minecraft, and we've been keeping in touch. But we've been getting into the mini game aspect of Minecraft, which has been quite exciting. And just seeing how my friend reacts. And it's just really weird because yeah, this is just like what I would just used to do for hours when I was like from the ages of 7 to 12, like every day. We'd play hours upon hours of Minecraft. It's weird, yeah. I've put like I estimate like definitely over like 12,000 hours, maybe even more into Minecraft. And I did the math, and it's like, oh, that's like a year and a half. It's just like, oh, that's a lot of time I spent. But then I think about it, and I was like, oh yeah, I did that like every day for like a few hours a day. But yeah, it's been interesting getting into that like type of thing with Minecraft again, because I used to just play single player survival and just kind of do my own thing, but having the online realm, and then with friends, and then going into doing all of the things I used to do many years ago. Many years ago? Not that many years ago. Like
eons
quarter of my eons.
The distant past Wabbles would play the Minecraft.
Yes. Day after day, he would sit down and play Minecraft with his friends. And then he got bored of the game and didn't play it for 2 years.
I'm just thinking about how I sure thought your upside down doggo looked kind of like a T-Rex.
T-Rex? Oh, that's.
I'm just thinking, like, what if it was a T-Rex and you were just like, playing Minecraft? And...
survived the asteroid. Maybe. Who knows?
We can't disprove this.
Yeah. I mean, you have seen my face properly now. Did I look reptilian or dinosaurish in any way?
I would believe you were a lizard person if somebody told me that.
Good to know.
I mean, in the sense of like lizard people controlling our government or whatever.
Oh right, yeah.
World society. Not that you looked like you had scales, but that clearly you're in disguise.
Eyes are vertical. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, no one really knows what Wabbles Incorporated does, and that's all I'm saying.
Well, I have a closing thought here on International Wobbles Appreciation Day. I wrote this down because I don't know, words are hard. But I just wanted to say that Wobbles is one of the most easygoing and collaborative people I've ever worked with. To my memory, it was his idea to start this podcast, and I feel like sometimes he doesn't get enough credit for the things that he puts into it. So I'm just gonna run through a little list here, because I do a lot of the editing, and so it can seem like this is my project, but okay, Wobbles composes the music, did the original concept art for the cover image, was actually the original editor, editing episode 0, and then also most of the Mabubuka, when we got kind of swamped with too much to edit at once. Created the Minty Boys Discord. That was entirely Wobbles' project, until I sort of joined and started doing weird Minty House stuff. But will that ever be fixed or mentioned again?
Who knows?
Stay tuned. But like, he works around my schedule most of the time, much more than I work around his, and goes along with my crazy ideas, as for mentioned houses, and has overall been an incredibly consistent counterpart and kept this project going for almost 2 years now. That's all of the nice things I have to say about Wobbles. And
all of them, nothing up there.
I will never say a nice thing again.
Thank you. That wasn't expecting that, but
now I will choke and die.
that was your final words. Farewell. Thanks for all the fish. But wow, I wasn't expecting that.
Happy birthday, Wobbles.
But yeah, thanks. That genuinely does mean quite a lot. Yeah. Yeah, thanks. That was
We can stop recording
unexpected. But yeah, I think yeah, I don't know how to transition from that. But you know, yeah, see you next month.
I had that list and I was like, I wanna say this in an episode. And I thought about it and I was like, I could say it at the beginning of the episode, but then there's a chance that Wobbles will just like lose the ability to like speak, or just like
I currently have.
You're just like, what? Okay.